Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're going to focus on just one single document.
Just one.
Yeah, a file called package.json. Now, okay, I know it sounds pretty technical, maybe a bit dry,
It can definitely look that way at first glance, just lines of text.
but we think it's actually, well, it's like the blueprint, the real playbook for an entire web project.
Exactly. A kind of digital DNA.
So the big question is, what surprising things can we actually pull out of this? Can a few lines of code really tell us the whole story? I'm genuinely curious to see what this file tells us.
Absolutely. And while, yeah, it might seem like just a list names, versions, it's actually an incredibly powerful artifact. It spells out the project's core identity, the specific tools it uses, and, basically the whole ecosystem of what it can do. Our goal here is to show you just how much info is packed into what looks like, well, dry code. By the end of this, you'll hopefully be able to glance at one of these and see a whole world of choices, priorities, even philosophy.
Okay, let's start unpacking this blueprint then, right at the top. We see some basic identifiers straight away. Name, REST Express, then version, 1.0.0, also type module, and license, MIT. Just from these few lines, what's the immediate takeaway? What does this tell us about the project?
Well, it's pretty dense, actually. The name, REST Express, that's not just a random label. It pretty clearly signals this is a RESTful API. And it's built with express.js.
Okay, Express, a common choice for backend APIs.
Right, a very popular kind of minimalist framework. Gives developers lots of flexibility. Then type module, that's a really key detail. It means they're using modern JavaScript ES modules.
Which implies.
It implies they're building with modern practices, probably thinking about things like performance, maybe tree shaking for smaller bundles down the line, future-proofing.
Gotcha. Performance-minded from the start.
Seems like it. And the license, MIT, that tells us straight up it's open source.
Yeah.
And MIT is very permissive, meaning anyone can use it, modify it, pretty much do whatever they want, suggests they want people to adopt it.
Okay, so a modern, potentially performant open source API using Express. Interesting start. Now, if that's the identity, then the script section. That feels like the instruction manual, how you actually work with this thing.
Exactly. It's the command center for developers.
We've got dev, no D&V development, TSX serverindex.ts, then build, Vite-build and S-build serverdex.ts platform node packages, external bundle format out dir dist. That one looks complicated.
It does, yeah. We'll unpack that.
Then start. No D&V production, node distindex.js. And also, check TSC and db.push. Drizzle kit push. Let's talk about that build script, using both Vite and S-build. Why? What's the advantage there? Speed, bundle size.
That's a great question. It really gets to their development philosophy. These scripts together show a really robust, optimized workflow, the dev script using TSX. That's about developer experience. It lets you run TypeScript directly without waiting for a compile step. Super fast feedback.
Ah, nice. Quick iteration.
Exactly. Now, for that build script, using both Vite and S-build is an overkill. It's very deliberate. Vite is amazing for front-end builds, and it's super fast dev server, while S-build is incredibly fast for compiling back-end Node.js code.
So, best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Fast front-end bundling, fast back-end compiling.
Precisely. It signals a team that's maybe a bit obsessive about both dev speed and getting small, efficient production code.
Makes sense.
Then Start just runs that optimized production code. Simple enough.
And check with TSC.
That confirms they're serious about TypeScript. Running the compiler just to check types catches errors early, improves code quality. Really important for maintainability.
Right. And db.push. Sounds database related.
Definitely. Using Drizzle kit push clearly indicates they're managing their database schema changes, like migrations, using the Drizzle ORM toolkit. That's crucial for any serious data-driven app. Discipline.
Okay, so we've got the project's ID and its operational manual. But what about its actual features, its powers? Let's look at the dependencies. This feels like the core engine, all the specialized parts that make it work. For you listening, think about how this list really paints a picture of what the application actually does. What capabilities really jump out at you when you scan this list? It's quite extensive.
It really is. And this is where you see the true scope of the project. It's probably helpful to group these a bit.
Good idea.
Okay, first, let's look at backend and API foundations. We already know Express is the backbone, but look at the authentication stack. Express Session, Passport, Passport Local, and OpenID Client.
Wow. Okay, that's more than just basic login.
Exactly. This suggests pretty sophisticated authentication, maybe supporting single sign-on, maybe integrating with corporate identity systems. It hints at potentially enterprise-level needs.
Interesting. What else?
Multer is in there. That's for handling file uploads. Very common need.
Yep. Pictures, documents, whatever.
And WSS, that indicates support for WebSockets. So potential for real-time features. Think live notifications, maybe chat.
Okay, so a robust backend with advanced auth, file handling, and maybe real-time stuff.
Right. Now let's look at database interaction. We see Drizzleorm and DrizzleZod. Drizzle is a modern TypeScript-focused ORM. Pairing it with Zod means strong validation for data going into the database. Very focused on data integrity.
Good practice.
And then look at this. At Neon Database Serverless.
Neon database.
Yeah.
Serverless.
It points specifically to using Neon, which is a serverless PostgreSQL provider. This is a huge clue. It strongly suggests they're building for scalability and potentially cost efficiency. Serverless databases can scale way up and down automatically. Hints at big ambitions, maybe global reach.
Wow, okay. Scalability baked in.
Seems like it.
Mm-hmm.
And Connect PG Simple and Memory Store are likely for storing user session data persistently, probably in that Postgres database. Reliability.
All right, this REST Express project is definitely sounding full stack. What about the front end?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Full stack. React and Reactum are the obvious starting points. Standard choice for UI. But then, look at all the Radix Sudi packages. Accordion, alert dialog, drop-down menu. I mean, there are tons.
Radix UI. Those are like low-level UI building blocks, right? Accessible ones.
Exactly. Very high quality, accessible primitives. And when you see those combined with class variance authority, CSSX, Tailwind Merge, Tailwind's Animate, and Next themes.
Okay, that sounds like Tailwind CSS related stuff.
Precisely. This whole combination strongly suggests they're using a UI component library built on top of Radix, styled with Tailwind. Something like Shadnui is a very likely candidate.
Ah, okay, so a really modern, customizable, probably quite sleek UI system.
Definitely. Focused on accessibility and flexibility. Then you have Lucid React for icons, popular choice. And look here, Emble Carousel React and Framer Motion.
Carousel of animations.
Suggests a dynamic, visually engaging interface, not just static pages, but things that move and react smoothly. Polished experience.
Nice. Anything else functional?
Yeah, React Day Picker for, well, picking dates, probably complex date selection needs.
Yeah.
And Recharts, that's for building charts and graphs. So data visualization is part of the picture too.
Okay, so a rich, interactive front end. What about managing data on that front end and forms?
Good question. For front-end data management, they've got @tanstack React Query. That's a very powerful library for fetching data, caching it, keeping the UI in sync with the server. Leads to a much smoother feel for the user.
Right, avoids lots of loading spinners, hopefully.
That's the idea. And for forms, look at this combo. React Hook Form, Zod, @hook form resolvers, and Zod validation error.
This is odd again.
Yeah, using Zod for validation on both backend and frontend with React Hook Form. This is a really robust, type-safe way to handle user input. Ensures data is correct before it even gets sent off. Great for user experience, too, giving clear error messages.
Okay. And any general utilities?
A few common ones. Date FNs for working with dates easily. Nanoid for generating unique IDs useful everywhere. And Memoji for performance, caching function results. So yeah, looking at all these dependencies together, it paints a picture of a really comprehensive, modern, and quite ambitious application.
Fascinating. Okay, we've seen the building blocks of the app itself. Now, what about the tools used to build it? The dev dependencies. These aren't part of the final product shipped to users, right?
Yeah.
They're for the developers.
Exactly. This is the workshop, the specialized toolkit that developers use day to day, and it tells you a lot about their practices.
What stands out here?
Well, TypeScript is front and center, obviously. Confirms the deep commitment we already suspected. Type safety, better code quality, easier collaboration, all that good stuff, especially for bigger projects.
Makes sense.
Then we see Vite and SBuild again listed here as dev dependencies.
Right, because they're used during development and build time.
Yep. Reinforces that focus on high-performance tooling for a smooth, fast developer experience. And TSX is here, too, enabling that direct TypeScript execution in dev mode we talked about.
Okay. What about styling tools?
A whole suite confirming the Tailwind CSS approach. Tailwind's itself, auto prefixer, Postmakes for processing the CSS, @Tailwind's typography for styling markdown content nicely, and @Tailwind's integrating it with Vite.
So they're really all in on Tailwind.
Looks like it. A deep integration, allowing for rapid UI development using those utility classes, very popular approach these days.
And database tools.
DrizzleKit, That's the command line tool that goes with the Drizzle ORM we saw in the main dependencies. Used for managing database migrations, generating schema changes, shows that disciplined, version-controlled approach to the database.
Good. Essential for team environments.
Definitely. And then you have a whole bunch of @types packages.
Ah, type definitions for JavaScript libraries.
Exactly. Essential for making TypeScript work well with libraries that weren't originally written in it. You need these for TypeScript to understand their structure and check your usage of them.
Got it. Anything else unusual?
These last two are interesting. At replitvite plugin cartographer and at replitvite plugin runtime error modal.
Replit, like the online coding environment.
Yeah. Seeing these specific plugins strongly suggests this project might be developed at least partly within the Replit environment. These tools likely provide specific debugging aids, maybe performance insights, or better error displays tailored to that platform. Gives us a little peek into their actual dev setup.
Okay. Wow. Let's try and put all these pieces together. We started off asking if a simple text file could really tell a whole story. So what's the final verdict? What does this package.json ultimately describe? It's definitely more than just a shopping list.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just a list, it's a narrative. It tells a story of deliberate, modern software engineering choices. What we're seeing described here is, well, it's likely a high-performance, scalable, full-stack web application. It's got a robust backend API built with Express, but with really sophisticated authentication, file handling, maybe even real-time capabilities. The database layer is modern, type-safe, and importantly built on a serverless architecture, suggesting it's designed to handle significant or fluctuating loads efficiently.
And the front end.
The front end uses React, clearly, but with a very advanced UI system, likely based on Radix UI and Tailwind CSS. Think modern, accessible, customizable, and visually dynamic. It handles data fetching smartly with React Query and ensures data integrity through robust, type-safe form validation using Zod.
So sophisticated on both ends.
Very much so. And the whole thing is built using cutting-edge developer tools focusing on TypeScript for safety, Vite and SBuild for speed, and disciplined database management with Drizzle. Taking it all together, this paints a picture of a highly skilled team, or maybe a single developer, who really knows their stuff. They're leveraging modern best practices and making very strategic choices about their technology stack. #tag outro.
That really was an incredible journey just by digging into one file. It's amazing how much strategy, how much philosophy even, is embedded in there once you know how to, well, decode it. It's kind of like seeing the project soul, isn't it?
In a way, yeah.
It definitely makes me want to look at other things, documents, systems, maybe even everyday objects, and ask, what hidden stories are they telling?
And that really raises a fascinating question, doesn't it? If a configuration file like this, seemingly simple, can reveal so much about a complex system, what other kinds of blueprints are out there? Maybe in your own work, your hobbies, things just waiting for a closer